Alright YouTube, so we are back today to talk about, I don't know, probably Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's the only game we talk about. So today we're here to talk about the game and whether or not it's going to be linear, give our thoughts on that, and whether or not it is a bad thing. Shout out really quickly to Zero Fox Given for the video idea. And by the way, this stuff's pretty cool whenever people request videos and give me video ideas, because it's kind of hard to make daily content, man. It's a lot harder than people realize. I always have a handful of videos I want to make at some point in time. Whenever people come to me requesting a video or give me a video idea or giving me information about Final Fantasy VII Remake, that stuff really helps when it comes to the amount of content that we produce. And I really appreciate it. On to the video topic. Now, if we're basing the linearity of the game off of the gameplay that we currently have outside of the cutscenes, outside of the combat gameplay, it does seem to lean towards this game being somewhat linear. The majority of, if not all, the non-combat gameplay that we have seen has just been Cloud walking straight forward, never really deviating off the beaten path, never really going to do other things. It seems like you're always kind of following the quest. Including the gameplay you're watching in the background, and if you happen to have watched the entire bombing mission footage that got leaked out there, like, the entire first hour or so of the game is pretty straightforward. Now, to be fair, all of the stuff we're talking about is early game. It's not surprising that you can't start up Final Fantasy VII Remake and just run around Midgar. So this could just be early game stuff. But a majority of the promotional material they've given us for Final Fantasy VII Remake has been cutscenes and combat gameplay. We don't often get just Cloud walking around doing stuff, and that makes me wonder if we can, and to what degree can we. And to be honest, this close to release, we actually don't even have confirmation that there's things like side questing in this game. Now, I think we're all in agreement that there probably will be. Most, if not all, of the Final Fantasy games have had side questing to some degree. But we don't know. We've never even seen like Cloud walk up to like an NPC and even try to engage them in conversation. We don't even know if that's possible. I know a lot of people don't like the mindless like fetch quest and like go and kill this monster, come back for your reward type of questing, but we don't even know if that's a thing in this game yet. We haven't even seen anything like that. We know there's mini games. We know there's darts, and we know there's the pull-ups and the squats, and other mini-games if you've looked into the leaks. But I have no idea right now if there's other things to do besides the mini-games and the main story. If we can just explore Midgar at free will at certain points in the game or not. But I'd love to know if we can walk around Midgar and walk around the slums and talk to people, engage them in conversation, maybe pick up side quests and things to do. Like, it'd be nice to know if there is some level of free roam, and like maybe we get a pause in the story where we can actually just kind of walk around and explore, do whatever we want. Maybe we can hop on a train, take it from one sector to the next, and just explore around that other sector, and then eventually come back to the previous sector and finish up the main story. Like, is that a possibility? We don't know. Now, on the topic of the game possibly being linear, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Linear games are not inherently bad. The upside to a game being smaller in scope in terms of size is that the environments that you are able to play in can be a lot more vibrant and full of life, a lot of good environmental storytelling, and also the actual story itself, when they're not focused on trying to build this massive open world for you to explore and find all kinds of secrets and hidden content, etc., they can just make the story itself better. Some examples of some good linear video games, and this depends on taste, of course, you have like the Telltale games, like the Telltale Walking Dead games. I love the hell out of them, and it's hardly a video game. You also have stuff like the Metro series, the newer Tomb Raider games, Dishonored, and even The Last of Us. These are all linear games, but also all very good. By the way, I forgot to update you guys with yesterday's video, but I did end up getting a PS4 finally. I had to go to so many different stores until I eventually found the bundle that comes with The Last of Us, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And also picked up a copy of Bloodborne, which I'm excited to play because it was highly recommended, and I've never really played much of the Souls games except for a very small amount of Dark Souls 2, so I can't wait to get my ass handed to me. But what I have been playing is The Last of Us, and I'm a couple of chapters in, and I absolutely love this game. If you'd like to add me on PlayStation, because I know some people are going to ask, the gamertag is the Dashing David, but both of the I's are the number 1. But back on topic, if Final Fantasy VII Remake is a technically linear game, that doesn't outright mean it'll be bad, because we've seen examples of fantastic linear games in the past. And it may not even be a linear game at all. We're just going off of the little bit of non-combat gameplay that we do have. There's a possibility of something like an Outer Worlds as well, where there's multiple, like, decent-sized maps. Like, not one big open world, but multiple maps. Something like maybe where all the sectors have their own map, and they're separated by, like, a load screen, but once you load in, it's a decent-sized area to explore and quest and do things inside of. But at the end of the day, as of right now, it all remains unanswered, and I'm not really sure which one I want. I've said in the past that I want a fully explorable Midgar, and that still remains, but I'm fine with the, a different zones, different maps. It doesn't have to be one big open world Midgar. I'm fine with having to go through a load screen to the next sector, as long as it's a big area to explore, and hopefully all of Midgar is explorable. I'm fine with linear games as long as they're fun to play. That's all that matters at the end of the day, is that the game you're playing is enjoyable, whether it's the story, the gameplay, the world, whatever. So based off what we have for the game currently, I do think it is going to be linear, but I'm not sure to what degree. But I feel like if there's a lot of like free roaming and side content to do, they'd be showing that stuff in the trailers, but all we've really seen is minigames. So as always, I pass off to you guys. What are your thoughts on the linearity of Final Fantasy VII Remake? Is that even a word? Is linearity even a word? And do you care? Do you want a linear game that's more focused on the story and the environments, or do you want an open world Midgar? And let's be completely honest, the original game was pretty linear. You do have side quests and things to do, but you don't get much freedom up until like maybe the tiny Bronco and the airship. Anyways, that's the video, my dudes. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and want to stay updated with more Final Fantasy VII Remake content. Turn on my notifications. Follow me on Twitter at @dashingdavid. I'm my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description and in the outro. Later, guys.